How's it going, gentlemen? How you guys doing? You all right? Let me know how your day's gone in the box below. I've pushing myself to do another stream today. Um, Tempted to not do it. Don't really feel like doing it. So I've got so many other things that I need to do, and I've had a really good day today. But I'm pushing myself to do it to motivate so many of you to push yourself um, to be more social and to take action on your goals and everything like that because it's so important, as I said before, and I'll get into that in a second. So just give me a couple of minutes to warm up. Let's see how many people come on this stream. Um, in all honesty, I'm hoping not too many people come on so I can cut it short, cut it earlier. What I'm doing right now, I'm doing an exercise that really helps me. And I do this with clients who struggle at times, and it helps them. So I think they call it. I think it used to be called like reverse psychology. So it's basically it can sound negative, but it works in a positive way. So I call out what I'm really feeling, which is that I don't feel like doing this live stream. I'm not really in the mood today, right? Don't feel like doing it. And I've also said that I hope no one comes on the stream because if no one comes on the stream, then it's a good excuse for me to say, right, I can pack it up, get on with the rest of my day, cook my dinner, and be entertained on YouTube. Let someone else entertain me. So I call that out. I say that, but I say that in hope that the positive part of me, the strong part of me that wants to help more people, and I want to keep being the best person I can be, will overcome that. Will overcome that. Um, fear, procrastination, not in the mood, excuse making, all that kind of stuff. So I don't need to do this all the time. As I said to you before, there's lots of times when I do feel like it, and I find the live streams challenging because they don't really challenge me, and I prefer coaching people in person, doing public speaking. I love it. I'm really passionate about it. So coming onto a live stream feels a little bit it feels a bit boring. It feels a bit stale. It's not as it's not as human. It's not as connective. So I've got my reasons, as we've always got our reasons in our story, which is quite relevant. So that's already a good exercise. And when I was working with my client the other day, who's doing my 1 year program for social anxiety, he really appreciates the honesty, not just my honesty when I'm teaching, but the value that he's getting. And I've said it years ago, calling it out. It really does relieve you. It takes a lot of courage because everybody's got that fear of what will people think about me. And if I tell the truth and I'm honest, people might not like it, or for the most part, not necessarily people won't like it, but people will judge me, if I say that I'm not in the mood. But I don't see it like that. I used to see it like that. I see this as having confidence and having integrity and having the guts to say what you feel, turn a negative into a positive. So it's an exercise of self-control. So it's like you could say, let's say you're having a really bad day, and say your mum asks you, or your girlfriend, or your friend, you don't want to be negative. You don't want to make people feel negative, but you can be honest. You can say, I'm having a really bad day today, but you know what? I'm going to find the positive. I'm going to turn the bad day into a good day. See how quickly you change the mindset. So I like calling it out because I want to give you guys the best experience I can and be positive on the streams. Sometimes I've got to call it out for myself. I've got to call out what I'm really feeling, which is a lot of times I'm not feeling like doing the live streams because I don't find them as impactful, exciting, interesting as in person, which is true. But at the same time, I've done many live streams that I've really enjoyed with you guys over the years. So that's not always the case. But again, it really does connect on one of the biggest challenges with social anxiety, which is fascinating to talk about, and that's when people get like and I've had this kind of all my life, so I understand it. When people have got like they get low moods, or I'm not going to say it's a bad mood. It's not always a bad mood because I'm not in a bad mood today. I'm feeling really relaxed, really good. I got a lot of stuff done today, feeling really grateful. I had a really good day. and a great client session yesterday. But sometimes you're just in a mood where you don't feel, you just want to be on your own. You just want to be in your own space and relax. And there's nothing wrong with that. But too much time like that, it can be a real negative, which is the whole point of this talk today, which is social anxiety and confidence, and how to build confidence, especially when you've been in a negative place for a long time, which is a theme at the moment that's common with a lot of people, especially because of coming from COVID and lockdown. And it's a theme that I've always been fascinated with, as I've been through lots of negative times in my life. I've also had a lot of positive times and come back from the negative. So I always love the comeback story from anybody, from you guys, from a client, from Tyson Fury, from David Goggins. It doesn't always have to be famous people, could be anyone. I love seeing a story where someone has been in a bad place and they've found a way to fight and get back into a good place. I never get bored of that story. It never gets boring for me. Something intrinsically, it just connects. It really does. It's hard to explain, but it's something that I feel. I think that's why, like most young men, right? I used to be young. I'm still young, but not as young as I used to be. I love the Rocky movies growing up. Right, let's make sure. I feel a lot better now. It's always good to call it out, guys. I always teach my clients this, and it builds a lot of courage, and it stops you. You do stop caring what people think. It's really freeing. So let's make sure. Hold on a second. Can you guys write in the chat? Make sure the chat's working, because sometimes it don't work. I don't want people commenting and I can't see it. Actually, soon I'm going to give myself a challenge, right? This is something you guys can do in all areas of life. I'm going to make time. I want to try and do like, not like something like 10 hours, but the longest stream that I can do. I think the longest live stream I've ever done was around about 3.5 hours. So I'm going to find a day, maybe next week, where I'm really in the mood. I'm going to see how long I can go. I'm going to see if I can do something like, in my head, I've got 6 hours or 5. I want to, because I don't know, I like the idea of a challenge. Hold on a second. Make sure this. Okay, I'm just making sure that the comment sections work. I've got my phone here as well. Hold on. You know what? Let's share this. There's so much to talk about, so much good news, positive stuff. Is that the time already? 8 o'clock. It flies. We'll give you guys a few minutes to get your questions in. Let's see if more people come on the stream. If they don't, it's not a problem. Just to let you guys know as well, I've got the weekend program. It's getting closer. It's on the 11th and the 12th. I had a sign up, so I've got like a couple of spaces left if you're interested in coming on that program. It's an amazing weekend program. Helps you to overcome your social anxiety with women and people in general. It's an amazing experience. You get to, it's in real life. That's what's so good about it. So if you're interested, just send me an email and I'll give you the details. There are limited spaces, and it's so it's not this weekend. It'll be next weekend in London over 2 days. I've got a client who's booked. He did it before. He's coming down from Scotland. I've had quite a few people recently, which I'm grateful for, from Scotland that have done my weekend program. I get clients from all around the world, so it still fascinates me, and I'm really grateful. Actually, it's kind of a shock to the system. said it before, that I work with people and get to meet people from all different countries. And I've always been fascinated with different people, different accents, and I had a great weekend experience recently with a client, really, really good guy from Scotland. And then before that, another really nice guy who did my program was also from Scotland. So who knows, maybe I get another guy from Scotland on the program. Right, let's have a look at this. I think that is the great thing about doing a weekend, is that no matter how nervous you are to do a weekend program, excited, you know it's going to be over in 2 days and you're going to get a lot out of it. And I always find psychologically, your mind can handle that, whereas it might be more daunting for people to do 6 weeks with me or a year, because it's longer, isn't it? It's ongoing. So for people that maybe want to get some confidence in the quickest amount of time and experience, the weekend program works really well. But again, it depends on you. It depends on how committed you are to overcoming your social anxiety and improving your relationships. And as I've said, many students who've done this program have said to me that not only did they get more confident with women, but they felt they were more confident with their family and friends, at work, in all areas. And it doesn't surprise me, because I know how much confidence you gain from speaking to people, from doing programs, from having a coach who cares and who understands and has been through the same thing, and just pushing yourself and being honest and respectful, having honest conversations. I would say that's a tip I want to give you right now. One of the quickest ways I've found myself and with teaching over the years, which is fascinating, one of the quickest ways to become more confident with people is honesty. And that's what a lot of people are afraid to do. And obviously, within being honest, you're going to be respectful. So you're going to use social skills. You're not going to say things that are inappropriate or really rude, but you're going to be honest. Same way I am on these streams, or if you meet me in person, you're going to be open with people. You're going to be genuine. And that's how you give a lot of value to people. It really is. It really is great ethics. I think sometimes people overlook things that are simple but are really valuable when they work, like honest communication, honest, respectful, confident, sincere, open-hearted, positive communication. It really does improve your self-esteem. And that was something that I discovered a couple of months or about a year in, when I was first working on my anxiety and my shyness and improving, getting more comfortable around people, and not just getting more comfortable, that was a part of it, but having the courage to open up. And usually what I found is when you open up to people or a person, most times people will open up towards you. It's like it builds a trust. It's almost like, it's like if I open up and I'm more vulnerable and open and sincere, it makes the other person feel comfortable, and they're like, okay, I'm going to respect that person. And you have a great connection. So I already gave you some great tips in there, and you could take these and you could apply this in any area. That's why I love what I teach, because it's transferable. It's not limited. I have a bit of a joke, but there's truth in it. It's like Bruce Lee said, water can fit into so many different shapes. It can fit into a bottle. Where's my teapot gone? It can fit into a teapot. It can be very soft. It can adapt. It's strong. The same with what I teach, with the honest communication. It works in business. It works with family, friends, on a live stream. It works in dating, relationships. It works from day to day. There's nowhere that it doesn't work, as long as you work it and you develop it, right? And you've got social skills and respect. And for me, honesty is all those things. I had a client a few years ago, quite funny, but obviously I said no. He was like, okay, so you're telling me to be honest. And he said, could he call someone a really bad word? And I said, no, of course not. And he said, but you said be honest. I said, yeah, but appropriate. If you call someone that, then they're going to, you're going to get into an argument. And then he laughed, he understood. He was having a bit of a joke. So of course, within honesty, you have to have social skills. You can't just be insulting people and saying, well, I'm just being honest. That's going too far. There has to be respect within being honest. So it's basically like, how would you want people to treat you? And then that will kind of give you the understanding of how to treat other people. So it really does take you to another level. But at the same time, it's also having some backbone. You're not being a pushover. So you can speak your mind if someone is, let's say you're working in a company and you don't like the way you're being treated. And you want to speak to the boss about it. You're scared. You can do that. You can ask for a pay rise or promotion, or say you're not happy with certain things in a calm way. So these social skills are life-changing. But obviously, to develop these skills, you've got to work at them. Even if you did my coaching, it's not just going to come instantly, unless you're completely a natural, which most people are not. It's going to take time, like all things, but the time will go quick the more you put the work in. Get your questions in, guys. I try my best when I'm doing these streams as well to use the social skills that come natural to me in person. I try not to overspeak and let you guys have your say and ask me questions so I can coach you more personally. But at the same time, if you guys don't say anything, if you haven't got anything to say, I know some of you might be too scared or too shy. So yeah, for people that are too shy, face the fear and ask a question. Okay, let me just I made some notes here. Okay, so yeah, the title of this stream: Confidence and Social Anxiety, the areas that I teach and that I personally love. How to take action after being in a negative place for so long. So I'm getting lots of emails from you guys. I'm working with quite a lot of clients. I know it's a general theme at the moment, and it's at some point it happens to all of us. I've been through it. It's easy to take action. It's pretty easy to take action, right? It's easy to go out and be social. It's easy to go see family, friends, go to work, have a dating life, go on dates. It's quite easy to do that, or it's easier when you're in a good place and you're in a good mood. It's brilliant. But when you're not in a good place and you're feeling down, or you're feeling negative, or you're feeling depressed, it can be very hard to motivate yourself. And that's where coaching comes in and the teaching. And what I'd say is, one of the ways that you do that is by really having a goal that motivates you. You've got to find a goal that's important to you. Example, let's say you're not in a good place. You might have ended a relationship and you'd like to get a new relationship. So you would set a goal. Okay. You would set yourself a goal to get a relationship. And then you would force yourself, encourage yourself to be social, because the value of moving forward and taking action when you're not in a great place or you don't feel like it is invaluable, because eventually, guess what happens? You will get into a good place. So I'll explain that again. If you're in a bad place in life from whatever's happened to you, mental health, depression, a loss of confidence, you lost your job, somebody left you, you had a bad breakup, a heartbreak, it is horrible. We all go through it. It's not nice. Or you've just got so anxious that you can't really be around people, or things are getting you down, things are not going the way that you want, or you've got to a certain age, whatever's bothering you, whatever's bringing you down, whatever circumstances or events that have led you to feeling down or in a bad place, if you don't take action, then it's going to get worse. Right? And we don't want that. So taking action when you're not in a good place will lead to a good place. That's what you need. It's moving forward, and obviously easier said than done, but you can do it, because I've done it. Many of my clients have done it. They're doing it. And many thousands and millions of men and women all around the world have done it. And you see a lot of the podcast shows today on the internet of people telling their stories of pretty much what I'm saying, how they got in a bad place and they moved forward and made something of their life. So with the right mindset, you can do it. And that's why coaching is so important, because the value of having a coach is that extra help and support, experience, strength, someone that can speak to you in a way that motivates you, that gets you to take action. So that's one of the ways that you do it. I wanted to explain that to you. And the incentive is, see, a lot of people, the mindset that they're in, this is the sort of inner conversation that they're having. What's the point of me talking to people when I'm whatever, when I'm not good enough, or no one wants to hang out with me? Or what's the point of me trying to build a successful business when it's failed before? Or what's the point of me going to the gym? I'm never going to get in shape. I've tried it before. They get into a very pessimistic, a very victim type mentality. Everything is negative. Everything's what's the point? And that's keeping you in a bad place. Well, you've got to find the point. And the point is because you want to enjoy your life, you want to be happy, or you want to, you want to have something to focus on. So having something to focus on, whatever that may be, in this case, mostly for people on this channel, it's around socializing with others, starts to change the way that you think and feel. And I think sometimes you have to hear someone else's story. So you realize that you're not any different, or you're not strange or on your own, that other people have gone through these things. And that's, why I've helped so many people. I'm not saying it's the same problem every time, but it's a very common pattern I see with clients who come to me who've fallen into a bad place. And it's always a good decision to come and get coaching, get support, or get around people. Another thing to remember is when people are not in a great place and they're not feeling social, they forget that it's temporary, that you're not going to be there forever. It's impossible. Things will get good again. You will feel good again. But you want to take action to speed that process up. And, taking action is the best therapy out there pretty much for this problem. And having a focus, the more you focus on taking action in your social life or whatever it is that you want to achieve, most of the things that people want to achieve at some point, they are going to involve you having to communicate with other people. But if you want to build a business, you want to travel, you want to teach, you want to earn more money, or you want to get a job, or you want to have new experiences, most of these things, most of them require at some point you having to communicate with people and improve that skill. And the more you do it, the better you get. And the more confidence you gain, the less you care about what people think. You haven't got time to care what people think when you're happy in yourself, when you're motivated. It wouldn't bother you what they think. Their opinion wouldn't mean anything to you, especially if it's critical, or they're trolls, or they're bitter, or they're jealous people, or they're trying to bring you down. It wouldn't affect you because you're in a good place, you're strong, and you focus on positive people. So I'd say, I know for a lot of people, I've experienced it too at some point, people feel disappointed by people, let down, even betrayed at times, or lose trust in people, you kind of lose faith in humanity. You got to override that, because there's always good people out there. There's always good people for you to meet that are trustworthy, that are good, and you would actually have good relationships with. And those are the people that you really want to look to connect with. But of course, to do that, you've got to take responsibility as well. And sometimes that's hard for people to understand, because when someone's in a bad place, it's easy to feel, feeling sorry for yourself's okay, but if you overdo it, it can become a point where you just kind of give up. So you don't want to give up. And I'd say the most important word is, it's a 5-letter word, I believe. You got to keep fighting, or you got to fight for as long as it takes, and it's working hard. That's why I say the harder you work, the more confident you feel. The more action you take, the more success you create. Confidence breeds success, and success breeds confidence. But taking action breeds confidence and success. And being honest and giving value, and not caring what people think, and getting comfortable being uncomfortable, and deliberately suffering. Good suffering is when you face your social anxiety consistently. It's when you discipline yourself, you go to the gym. So it's all these different areas. And I said at the start, you're always going to be reluctant at the start. I call it the boxing ring analogy. Most people, they don't want to get in and do the sparring. They like talking about it and sitting at home eating potato chips, judging other people that are doing it. But when it comes to them doing it, most people wouldn't get in the ring. They ain't got the guts. But if you get in the ring and you push yourself, you actually do better than you think, or if you don't do that well, you come out and you feel like a warrior. You feel proud of yourself because you face the fear, you challenge yourself. So when people don't challenge themselves enough, they get depressed. Most human beings, I say, if not all, especially men, need to challenge themselves. Yeah, that's a good point that you mentioned. To a certain degree, what you said, it's hard to not care what people think when they're always judging you. Well, just accept that. The fact is, yeah, people are always going to judge, they're always going to have their opinion. But if you focus on what you love doing, what makes you happy, with enough focus, what the problem is? I'll tell you what it is. The answer to this question, what you said, people are too distracted. They're not focused on what they want to do in their life. So when you're not focused, of course you're going to care what people think, because you're so out of focus. You're vulnerable. You're too self-conscious. But when you're focused, let me say something. See, when you're younger, anyone on this stream or anybody listening, of course you remember a time in your life where you was focused. Let's say you was focused on a video game. You're just so ingrained in the game, enjoying it. Do you care what people think? Of course you don't. You're not thinking about them. Why? Because you're focused on what you're enjoying. If you're dancing and you're having a great time and you're really into it and you're present, you don't think about what people are thinking about you because you're focused. So most people today in society are distracted. They're not focused. They're focused on negatives. They're constantly focused on, oh, what's that person thinking of me? See, when you're not focused on what others are thinking, then you enjoy your life. You don't sit there wondering what people are thinking. You're too busy living your life. And I always say this, right? I love it when I get criticism, because criticism always comes when you're successful. No one ever gets criticism when they're not successful. Critics are always a great compliment that you're successful. Like I said, it's never personal. You only get criticism because you're successful, because you're outspoken, because you have guts, because you trigger critics. And deep down, critics, they love you, they like you, they just don't know how to express it. I'm really good, Timmy. How are you, mate? So it's really about focusing on what you want to do and what you want to achieve. Like I was saying to one of my clients, he's a really good guy, and he's still working through his fear of, he told me he has a fear of stuttering in front of people, right? Even though he's overcome it a lot. And it comes from where he got bullied when he was younger. So he's taken up martial arts, and he asked me, what do I think about it? And I said, I think that's a great idea to do MMA and boxing, to get that confidence, to learn self-defense, so that you can overcome the fear of what people think or people criticizing you. Because for as long as you care too much what people think, you give them all your power, then you stop living your dreams. And as I said, unfortunately, there's always going to be negative, jealous people that are hateful because they're not successful and you are. But don't focus on them, or do what I do. I'm always excited because I've never got criticism when I wasn't successful. I didn't get any criticism. It's actually kind of lonely. But when you're successful, a lot of people like you. You help a lot of people. Also, a lot of people don't like you. But it's not personal. All right, man. No, I'm happy to say hello to your mum, and that's lovely of you. So yeah, I just want to say say hello to Maggie. That's Timmy's mum. Want me to say hello to her. So yeah, I hope she's well. So hi to Maggie. Appreciate that, Timmy. So that's really nice that you said shout your mum out. So it's about focus, and it's funny that word keeps coming up. And I was talking about that in my last talk that I gave. And I know that I've heard Dan Pena talk about that a lot. And I learned from people that are experienced. He's got a lot of experience. I mean, he's got a lot of wisdom and age. And he says, I remember someone asking him, what's the one thing that someone can do to become successful in business, financially, and with confidence? And I remember him saying many things, but one word he really stressed, he said, focus. But a lot of people just hear that word and go, yeah, focus, but they don't really understand what that entails. They don't understand that focus means not being distracted by negativity, not being distracted by critics or haters or problems, but by disciplining yourself to focus on what you want to do. I was doing a coaching session with my client yesterday. He's so good to work with. He's just brilliant. And I said to him, look, you don't have to focus for 24 hours a day or even 10 hours. I'm just asking you 2 hours a day of focus. For 2 hours, if you can focus on your business, on your fitness, on your social life, on your clients, you're going to achieve everything. And he really understood it, and he's really good at it. I love the criticism, by the way. I like it when I get critics. It really does make me stronger. It makes me more successful. And I've always said the critics have always made me more money. They've always attracted me more clients. They've always made me a better person, and they've always made me help people, and they've always made me want to pray for them. I pray to the Lord Jesus Christ to help them suffering, because anyone who's hateful and criticizing someone with so much hate is in a really bad place. So it doesn't affect me personally, because I've got experience with dealing with bullies and hateful people and critics. When I wasn't in a great place myself, I wouldn't say that I was a critic, but I could be negative as well. So, the Lord showed mercy on me, so I hope that he shows mercy on other people. But I don't take it personal. I also take it as a compliment, because you only get criticized when you're brave and you're in the arena. So anybody's got anything to say about me online, I really appreciate you wasting your energy and time coming on my live stream, watching my live streams. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Keep up the great work, honestly. You've really helped me to make more money. Experience and focus. Right, back to what I was saying about focus. So these are things that will help anyone to build confidence, overcome social anxiety, and get in a good place. Really simple things, but if you do them regularly. Exercising, which is something that I love doing. If you exercise 3 times a week, you're going to get more confident, you're going to be stronger, more resilient, and you're going to be in a better place. So that's something that 100% works. And that's why I exercise regularly, and I put up my videos on Instagram and YouTube to motivate and inspire people. And I've got friends that are in great shape, got clients that are personal trainers. I've always loved training. Back in the days of Schwarzenegger, bodybuilding, Lee Haney, Lee Priest, Bruce Lee, all the martial art films, they always inspire me, the Rocky films. So exercising regularly will help you to become more socially confident, and it will get you out of a negative place into a good one. Dieting, I'm not saying that you've got to be a diet freak, but I'm kind of saying that you want to be eating healthy regularly, as consistently as you can. The obvious healthy foods, which most people know. If you're dieting regularly, eating clean food, and you're exercising regularly, then you're going to have more social confidence. You're going to be more stronger, and you're eventually going to get into a good place. Just doing those 2 things alone. If someone's in a bad place at the moment and they're down or isolated or depressed or lonely, or they're just not confident, or they've come from a challenge or a breakup, or it's financial, or if it's in a relationship, if they exercise regularly and they diet regularly, it won't be long before their self-esteem increases and they get into a good place. And when you feel better and you're in a good place, it's a lot easier to then go and face people and have eye contact and speak to them. You're not going to have, if you do have social anxiety, you can overcome it and beat it, because you're in a strong place. The battery's running out here. So that's so important. So there are 2 things there, diet and training. Secondly, is to, well, the battery runs out quick, is to go to events or do courses, get a mentor, all in that area. Meetups are so important. They're so good for social anxiety. You know, a group meetup, the live streams are good, but they're not as effective as in person, where you can meet people in person, get around good, positive people, or go to some, you know, one of my meetups or improvisation, anything that's social, anything where you're in a group of people and you can interact with one another. So when you're exercising regularly and you're socializing regularly and you diet regularly, you're already hitting the principles of all successful people: diet, exercise, discipline, socializing, love, relationships, connection. Just getting those fundamental things down to a T will really help you. Now, on top of that, on the bigger picture, you've got to find your purpose in life. Or for those of you that word might not resonate with you, you've got to have a goal. If goal doesn't resonate, you've got to have a hobby, something that you love doing, whether it's paid or unpaid. Hopefully, it will also be paid. You can get paid to do what you love. I also teach people how to do that, how to get paid, start doing your work, and having your own business. So when you've got these foundations in place, you've got the gym, you've got your dieting, you've got your socializing, and you're challenging yourself in a way in which you enjoy and you're getting a lot out of it, building a business or whatever it may be, traveling, photography, acting, dancing, coaching, whatever works for you, whatever you love, boxing, singing, whatever it is, helping people, building. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you enjoy it and you're passionate about it and it's something that you're gifted to do. When you're doing these things, so when you're dieting, you're exercising, you're socializing, and you're doing your purpose, it's not going to be long. It won't be too long before you get into a great place. And then you'll start attracting more success because you're in a good place and you're thinking in the right way, you're acting in the right way, you're in a good place, and you're not focused on what are people thinking about me. That usually comes from someone who's not working on themselves enough, too distracted, because you don't, it changes. You actually, number one, you don't care what they think when you're in a good place. And number two, in a healthy way, you just think people are thinking good things, whether they are or not, because that's self-esteem. That's being in a great place. When I was in a bad place many years ago, I would care about everything what people thought. That's why I couldn't do what I'm doing now. When I got into a good place, I didn't care anymore. I built the courage. Now, if some of you are asking me, well, how can we build the courage? Well, I've just explained it. But an even quicker way, which I explained earlier for those of you that just come on now, martial arts, boxing. Firstly, boxing is my favorite, but it might be different for you guys. Karate, MMA, rest, whatever it is, learn martial arts. It will toughen you up in the right way. It will make you respect people. You won't get into fights, but no one can bully you when you learn martial arts and you're strong physically, mentally, and emotionally. It doesn't really happen. It's very unlikely you can handle it. So you're not going to be affected by a couple of trolls on a keyboard who type stuff. It's not going to affect you because these sorts of people, they're never going to say it to your face. They don't have any courage. They're people that have got, they don't have courage basically at this moment in time, right? But as I said, I do pray for them and hope that they do get into a better place and treat themselves better. Because if you're treating people like that, you treat yourself like that as well. So your whole mindset will change. Public speaking, another one. I know that can be quite challenging if someone's in a bad place. That's quite advanced, but you can aim for that. Oh, it's great to hear from you. Is that Leonardo? We work together right in London. I think it's you. If it is you, man, I'm doing great, man. I hope you're well. And as I said, I really appreciated our time. Thanks for doing my program. I've mentioned you before in second person. I really appreciate people that travel from all around the world and come and work with me. I don't say that to show off. I say it because I'm really grateful. And you're from California. Yeah, of course. Our time is great. How are you getting on, man? Hopefully, things are going a lot better for you now since we did the coaching, and you've been working on yourself as well. But like I said to you when you met, well done for having the courage to come over and do the coaching, because it's challenging, isn't it? But it's worth it. That's good, man. Like I was saying to you before, Leo, it's, you've got to we've got to work at this. It's not an overnight thing, which you're doing. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Heard about the snowstorm. I hope that you're all right, man. Everyone's all right over there. I had a friend, he was over a few days ago from the States, but he's from Cincinnati. So it's obviously a different part of town to you. And I met up with him, had food. He come to my event. Really nice guy, had a nice time. I'm good. I'm focused. Since I spent time with you, I've been doing a lot of coaching, a lot of events, dieting, training. Really, I'm working hard. So I'm good, man. Thanks for asking. So yeah, what I was saying, guys, the more you focus on positive habits, the less you care about what other people think, and you're more in it. Because my dad made a good point recently. Sometimes caring too much what other people think can be a selfish thing, where you're constantly thinking about yourself, what people think about you. Versus if you want to add value to people, you're more thinking about, well, what can I give as opposed to what can I get? So, of course, a healthy amount of care is normal, but an excessive amount usually means that you're not being accountable enough, you're not taking action, you're not pulling your weight, you're just in that place. And that's a certain, like Les Brown says, no one has to really do anything to be negative. It comes naturally to human beings. People are negative by nature, generally. So being positive has to be earned. It's something that you've got to work at, and not caring what people think, or caring less what people are thinking, or not focusing on what might people be thinking about me or saying, takes discipline. But obviously these are things that you can learn. And if you really want to do it, then you're going to do it. So again, it's really about simplifying all this, how you become confident and overcome social anxiety and get out of a negative place and get into a good place is about setting the right goals, a long-term goal and short-term goals, having a vision, having a purpose, and then, exercising regularly, dieting as best as you can. As I said, you haven't got to be a diet freak, but generally eating healthy. Try and stay away from obvious stuff like drugs, and not too much alcohol if you really want to go to the next level. Going to events, socializing with people, getting a mentor, being social with most of us know deep down. Also, like I said recently, being consistent, that's the challenge that a lot of people have, because today you feel good, so you socialize or you work on your business or whatever action you need to take. But then when tomorrow comes, a lot of people don't want to do it because they rationalize it and say, well, I did it yesterday, but yeah, yesterday's yesterday. What about today? What about the next day? So I'm a big believer in rest and recovery, but not after you've worked your ass off. So working hard is how you get into a good, listen, going from a negative place into a positive place is a full-time job, but it's a job that I like to do. Overcoming social anxiety is a full-time job. If you want to be successful, you can't put in part-time hours and then complain that you're getting part-time results. So if you want full-time results, you've got to put in full-time hours. You've got to put the effort in. So it's that reluctancy that a lot of people have, where they just don't feel like it. A lot of the time is because they allow themselves to fall short of being strong. Being strong is a choice. Being weak is a choice. Being confident is a choice. And remaining fearful and pessimistic and doubting yourself is also a choice. But a lot of times people don't realize that. They think it's not a choice when it is. Success is not luck. Success is choice. But when you work hard, luck comes your way. But you've got to choose to do this. You can, being a critic and a hater is a choice. You don't have to be like that. Being a good person is a choice. So make a choice to change your life. Make a choice to be confident. Make a choice to be accountable. Make a choice to be as honest as you can and learn from your mistakes and get help. All these things are, like I said, about choice earlier on. I didn't feel like doing this live stream because I've been doing many things and I'd rather do things that are easier. But I made a choice to do it because I want to keep helping people, inspiring, motivating, teaching, and helping you guys to get into a confident place, or at least giving you the information. And it's your choice to act on the information, and showing you as well what discipline looks like. You notice how committed I am on the channel. All the things that I do, I'm very committed because I know what it takes to be consistent. What's up, David Rees? Are you new to the channel? Because the first time I've seen your name. If you are, I appreciate you coming on. If you enjoy my channel and you get value, subscribe. I'll answer your question. So David says, how do I hold down a job? I always quit after a really short time because I feel like I'm making everyone comfortable, especially, I feel for you, mate. I used to have that problem as well. Well, first of all, you've done the right thing by being honest about it. And the second thing is about asking yourself, how can you increase your confidence? Because I think this is a confidence issue, and obviously you feel like you're making other people uncomfortable, and there's no guarantee that you are. So it's how can you make yourself more comfortable? How can you be more confident? Sorry. So you can stay in jobs longer. So, I teach a lot of stuff on this channel. Guys, I'm just going to use the toilet. I'm coming back 1 second, all right? Good question, though. You know what, gentlemen? I'm just going to move this because I've got to charge this. I've got to charge the laptop. I really like your question, by the way, and I just thought of another solution that might help you. Hold on a second. That's great. Right. Love some of these questions. They're great. Okay. So, obviously, David, because I'm not with you in person, I can only get a rough idea. So, one of the things that helped me when I was going through what you're going through was actually finding the right job. Because sometimes that's a problem as well, David, isn't it? If you're doing jobs that you don't enjoy, excuse me, I'm not presuming that, I'm not sure unless you can tell me more, then you're not going to stick these jobs out. So I'd say that, excuse me, get my breath. These energy drinks, not good for you. Having the job that you enjoy is going to make you stay in the job. So I think this is all the solution to your problem. It's increasing your confidence, to state the obvious. And it's also about you doing a job that you enjoy. So I would set that goal. I know you can do it because I've done it, but work on it. Like I said, I don't know how long you've been following the channel. I've got so many videos on how to build confidence and live streams and things, so take advantage. But let me know if you understood the answer. And as I said, that's the only thing about doing these live streams. I'm not with you in person. If I was with you in person, I could coach you better, maybe connect with you, help you to get past this anxiety. But as I'm not with you guys in person, we'll have to make do with what we've got and appreciate it for now. But yeah, I can relate to that. If you've heard my story, it was a struggle for me years ago. I used to feel the same way you did, David. I'd feel uncomfortable in jobs because I had anxiety, and I did a lot of jobs at the time that I didn't enjoy. But after getting to a point of just having enough of suffering, I started to work on my confidence, and then eventually I was more confident in workplaces around people. I got more comfortable with them, And then eventually I found my passion, which is coaching. I started my own business. So I hope that helps you, David. I've given you the best I can with what I know, and I can't be any more honest than that. Oh, great, man! That really makes me happy because the channel was growing a lot, and then I don't know if the algorithm changed. So if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer if you don't want. It would help me. I want to help you more. How did you find the channel? Did you find it through one of my live streams? Because I'll keep making these videos. I want to get more new people and help more people. By the way, I do these streams quite regularly, David, so you can come on the next ones, and I probably will make a video on that topic because a lot of people are going through what you're going through who have social anxiety, and I want to help more people because I know what it feels like. I've been through that myself, but you can overcome it. That's the good news. It is hard though. It is hard. I remember the days when I went through it when I was a young man. It's hard, you know. You're trying to work, you're trying to make a living, you're nervous, you're stressed. You know you want to do your job right, and then you're feeling stressed and uncomfortable around people because of the anxiety. It's hard. It's hard, but it's how can I say this? It can take you to another level. So anybody that's going through what David's going through, and there are thousands of young men will be going through this, and women, you can do it. I done it. You can do it. It takes practice. It's a mindset. And if there's one technique I can give you is accept that you feel uncomfortable. Get comfortable feeling uncomfortable around people and do the best you can to treat them with respect, be honest, and you will start to improve it. No, there's no doubt about it that you can get better. That's the great thing about building confidence and anxiety or social anxiety. You can get better. Everyone can improve. It doesn't matter how bad you are, how nervous you are, how strong the anxiety is. Everyone can improve if they work at it. And a big part of that is wanting to improve. If some of you was to ask me, what's the most important thing that we need or to develop or have in order to overcome social anxiety, the want to do it. If it's strong and you really want to overcome it, you're halfway there because you're going to take the action. You're going to do what's necessary. You're going to face that fear consistently. You're going to practice being more open with people. You're going to practice staying in conversations and social situations when you feel like running out and exiting when you get awkward. You're going to stay in there, and that's how I overcame it. That's what happened to me, and that's when I started to teach other people. I wanted it so bad. Where are you from, David? Are you from the States? I'm guessing. I might be wrong. A lot of people on this channel were from all different parts, but a lot of people from America, the States. So I appreciate the support I get from the US and the support I get from all around the world. Oh, I knew it, right? I didn't know you from Texas, but I just guessed it was America. Oh, that's great. How did you find my channel? Did you just find it through recommendation videos, or did you search a specific video and then it came up? I would like to know because I don't always know how people find the videos, so I can reach more people. I've got a basic level of understanding, but YouTube keeps changing the algorithm, and it seems like it's a bit harder these days for um, depending on what videos I do. The short videos seem to get a lot of views, but when I do these longer videos, it seems to be a little bit harder for people to find the videos. I don't know what the reason is for. Maybe there's more people online now. What the change in the algorithm. So I'm going to start asking. Maybe do a video asking people how did they find the channel, and then I know what approach to take to get more subscribers and reach the right people. Okay, great. So you found it from searching about social anxiety on YouTube. Okay, I appreciate that. Oh, that's great. So it is working. I'll keep doing that. Keep doing what I'm doing. I would also say as well, David, like, what's your goal? It's important that you've got goals, even if the goals don't seem like a big deal. It's important that they're important to you. So if you've got a long-term goal, it's important to have goals, especially with getting over social anxiety, because if you haven't got goals, then you won't be motivated to overcome your anxiety and to improve your confidence and to be able to stay in a job when you find it difficult, or to meet new people, challenge yourself. So goals really helped me when I was starting out, and that's why when I'm coaching clients, I always set goals, always get them to set goals, because goal setting works. It helps you to solve problems. It gives you confidence. It gives you motivation. It gives you a focus. Right, we're going to come to the end soon, guys, because I've said I'm just going to do an hour today because I've got to eat my dinner and I've got a client tomorrow. And I've been doing a lot of these streams. I'm going to do a longer one on the weekend. I've got an event. I've got a client tomorrow and I've got an event on Sunday, but Saturday I'm off. I'm going to do the gym in the day and hopefully do a long stream Saturday evening and also on a Monday, try and do as many as I can. And I've got more videos to upload as well on social anxiety, confidence, all in that area. Excuse me. Yeah, if anyone's got any more questions, send me an email or post the questions up on one of my videos. I'll try and answer it as best as I can. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. And also as well, if anyone is interested in getting personal coaching, doing my paid mentorship, send me an email to apply for coaching. I offer long-term coaching, short-term, and somewhere in the middle. I appreciate all the support, guys. You guys are great. Also, want to say as well, I really appreciate the criticism. Without the critics, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and they always give me a lot of strength. They really do help me to not care what people think and for me to help other good people. So I do appreciate the criticism because it does spread the videos, and they have helped me a great deal. Being that when I was younger and stuff, I was always afraid of criticism. So the critics have freed me from my fear of being criticism by them criticizing me a lot, me overcoming the fear. And also, yeah, another live stream completed. Um, to be continued, guys. As I say, it's not about. And yeah, good luck with the things that I've shared today. Practice them. It's mainly around simple things, like I said, goal setting, getting the right support, taking one step at a time, going to the gym, improving your diet, being social, being positive, fighting, trying. And if you can't do it on your own, get help. Speak to your family, speak to friends, professional, or get some confidence coaching. All right. I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a great evening.